She seems like she's happy about investigating it, so okay. So you go ahead and go. That's great. Good. She said, well, you're going with me.
Did you say, but I'm Jewish? What do you mean I'm going
Well,
with
I
you?
know I said that. I know I did say that.
Okay.
And she went, so?
Right. That would be my response, by the way, right? If someone said that to me today, I would be like, so, like, I
I
don't,
mean,
okay.
I said, okay, I get what can't hurt. Okay, let's go. So I went, well, the guy that was teaching is pretty well known in the religion that we mutually have. His name's Robert Millet.
Robert Millet.
Was teaching institute in 1981.
So his book, Hole in Christ, I think was his most recent book, Robert Millet. I think if you're a Latter-day Saint, the name, it's like Marvin Goldstein, to be honest. Since you sent me that text message, I've been asking around. You know, I'm excited, like my family and friends in my ward and things like that. Because I always lead out with that. Do you know Marvin Goldstein? And then my next thing is I'm going to interview him, right? So, but it's always the pianist, like immediately. So tell us about Robert. So he's teaching Institute, and the Institute manual is what your wife saw. For all of the Institute teachers out there, just one person seeing an Institute manual changed the world for a lot of people, you know, in this case. Do you remember any impressions when you first start going?
So I go and I go and I go. Yeah, this is weird.
Okay.
Not weird and not bad, but
Different.
this is talking about something that I've been almost told is the devil. You're telling me that a Jewish man is a Messiah? All the Jewish men I know have far from being a Messiah. Are you kidding me? But she's looking at it, absorbing it, and seeing it. And it's talking about family, and it's talking about a lot of all good things. Nothing really bad.
Just the Jesus thing.
Correct. Yeah,
Yep.
correct. It's just when a little kid is born, when the first time they can think or hear, they're going to hear Jesus Christ is something you never want to talk about. See, hear, do. He's not who these other people say he is. And they're nice people, but tell them to leave you alone.
What else would anyone do? You know, that we would do what we were taught to do. That's interesting. I see the parallels again today. You know, it's the same old song, it seems, being played over and over throughout history. They just will not look. We saw it in the Book of Mormon, Layman Lemuel, Lehi. Their dad said they would not look. They just wouldn't look, you know, and that's the reason why is because they were taught not to look.
I mean, who's going to say their mother's wrong or their father?
You can't.
I mean, you're following the example. I mean, it's just like they're not saying it's evil, although possibly it even gets to that point. And Jewish people believe that conversion is of the devil. That you try to convert me, you're trying to kill me. There's no difference.
Wow.
You want to kill me, you want to convert me.
Wow.
So
Yep.
there's a lot of parallels that
Yes.
are similar. So, but then, of course, Brother Millet said to her, well, you know, I feel like you're really learning and it's glowing and this is really doing a lot of good things for you. To her.
I'm sorry to keep interrupting you. I'm just picturing your wife there with Robert Millet, and here you are, you know, in the mix with this whole thing. And the reason why I have this look on my face is because I can see the Lord's hand working. It's always in hindsight, right? We can see things that we couldn't see before, but hearing your story from the start to finish, again, it's so clear, God's hand in your life.
And so she says, you know, she asked if she could be baptized. And he said, not unless your husband agrees. So they look at me, and I go, what am I supposed to say?
Okay.
She has a nice grin. She's happy. It's all about good stuff. It's not attacking me. God bless you. Great. That's going to be good for you. That's great. Okay, good. We're going to go ahead with that. But guess who started attending my house once she was baptized?
Robert Millet.
No.
Okay, who?
Thousands of these tags.
Yes, those guys. I should have known. The missionaries.
I say
the
thousands.
The 110,000 of the Lord's battalion, right? That is marching around the earth right now.
Yeah, but
those guys.
But all of a sudden, it's like, I'm not valuable. Oh yeah, you invited him to dinner. Okay, sure.
Sure.
But they always are hesitant to get around to the teaching about Christ, but I just loved the association with them. I could take them out to eat, this and that, but never listening ever.
Would you leave the room when they taught your wife?
No.
You would sit in?
Not watch. Sit.
Okay.
One day after she was baptized, the missionaries would say, well, we've been coming here a while. And would you be open to, they just hardly could get the words out. Would you be open to, what?
Yeah.
Listening to something? What are you talking about, listening to something? Okay, now this will date me. Here, Brother Goldstein, here's a cassette. A cassette.
Okay.
So it's in the early 80s, right? Here's a cassette. And on this cassette, it's a brother, Cleon Skousen, he's one of our scholars, is describing in what has to take place of the rebuilding of the temple in Jerusalem, the rebuilding of it. And it was destroyed in 70 AD. I already knew that. I'd already been there, seen it. It was destroyed completely by the Romans. Anyway, so would you listen to this and maybe let us know what you feel from it or something like that? Okay, sure. 3 years had passed. I never listened to it. I didn't plan to listen to it. But they kept coming, and they're nice people. And I go to stuff. Finally, after almost 4 years, making a little story a little shorter, a lot of funny things happened during this period. They said, you have never really listened to that cassette, but you've been taught. I said, well, I understand, but I don't feel. Well, prior to this, what I'm about to tell you, one other thing happened. Salt Lake City. Now, I may be trumping this up a little bit, but Salt Lake City got wind there was a Jewish guy that plays the piano in Tallahassee. And they actually called me and said, would you be open to helping us try to understand what we need to do to get closer to and help Jews to understand about the gospel? What?
Right.
To me to help?
Why Marvin Goldstein, you think?
What? Yeah, it's just an organized thing. We're trying to find out what would... You can see what they're trying to do, but it's like, we want to understand what steps should we take, what should we not say, how should we go about all this. It's an organized thing, and we want you to be on the committee and be one of the people that tells us what we're doing wrong.
Fascinating.
Okay, so anyway, they went through it. They left, and so the final thing came by. What did you think about it all? I said, it's dumb. It's crazy. I said, you didn't accomplish whatever it is you're trying to do. It's not working. God bless you. Have a nice day. I felt good about, no, you didn't get to me.
Right.
No. Why is it not okay to be Jewish? Tell me. It was Jesus Christ Jewish? He wasn't Baptist. He wasn't Mormon. He wasn't, hello?
I'm trying to be like Jesus. Okay.
And so I'm doing all this, and then, oh my gosh, what's wrong with it? But then one day, to get back to it real quick here, it was asked to me, just please listen to this. You've been taught this, that, whatever. We just want to know if you really have seriously looked at this or not. 4 years into it. Okay, I'll listen to it. So I actually promised I'm going to listen to it. I got the cassette out. The car only had an 8-track in it. Didn't even have a cassette.
Oh, no.
So I had to borrow a cassette player. I stuck it on the front seat of this Grand Prix by myself, traveling somewhere in town. Turned it on. Skousen's talking all about how the things are being gathered in Israel to build that second temple. Or all of a sudden, what the missionaries had described to me was, if you have real intent and faith in God, you could be yielded upon, and you could find out some truths, and if this is all in this order, if you're serious about it and really want to know, and you have faith that you can know. So I'm listening, and all of a sudden, about this temple being rebuilt, in part of the chest above the heart, right here in the area, something just as if somebody grabbed me there and pulling. I'm going, oh no, this is what they described. It's not good. When you feel it, you'll know who it's from, what it's about, everything. You'll know. Uh-oh. So I opened the car window, and I actually remember putting my arm out there to try to shake this thing off. I actually did like this. I remember doing it, and it wouldn't go away. It just wouldn't go away. Uh-oh. I had been taught, and this is all true, and I just been having fun with it. And now it's getting serious. So months pass. I never told anybody because I'm still fighting this cultural shock, this change, telling family, this preconceived notions of what's going to happen.
You knew that it was true, did you?
Absolutely knew it was true.
And so what was flooding through your mind was all of the steps that you were now going to have to take with this knowledge. Tell us about the thoughts that are running through your mind. What kind of sacrifices are you thinking about and scared of?
Well, Jewish people are very much afraid and put off and about anything to do with Christ. And if somebody would join another religion, they would think they are just denying and attacking those that are still Jews, including family. And this is like family's more important than religion, right? So, I mean, it's just so intertwined here. It's so craziness. So all of a sudden, one day, many months later, as I'm worried about all this, an elder came through. His name was Wade Bigler, Bigler, from Ogden, Utah. He's 6'6". Nice guy, like they all were. So we went and did something. I can't remember exactly what we talked about, but he came up to me and he said, you know, Brother Goldstein, we've all been coming here for 4 years. We've been here for 4 years. I mean, who knows how many sets of missionaries you've been with. But Brother Goldstein, I said, no, I'm not brother, just Marvin's fine. I'm not this, whatever this priesthood thing is, brother. And I don't have hoods or, I don't just...
Call me Marvin.
Marvin's fine. Hey, Brother Goldstein. Okay, but Marvin, your countenance is different. Your countenance has changed, Brother Goldstein. You see that?
Wow.
Yes, we see that. And the Bigler said, I know. Wow. That you know.
Let's go, Elder Bigler. Missionaries, this is what I'm talking about. When Joseph Smith and Hiram Smith went out and preached the gospel and told about the visions that they had, they weren't stuttering. You know, they boldly and nobly proclaimed what they knew to be true. Thank you, Elder Bigler, for doing that. Okay, so what happened next?
Yeah, we can just leave it there.
Okay. He put you on the spot, man.
He said, wait, I know that you know.
I know that you know.
And I'm going, and then, now if the conversation hadn't gotten that far, it's a nothing burger. They just go on your way. Okay, great, you got counting. But no, it didn't went a little further. So any missionary out there, my opinion, that you ever see, people you love and touch with their teaching, that you see and know that their countenance has changed, that they're understanding, that they're warmer, they're kinder. When you see that, you have to say what he said to me next. And here's what he said. After your countenance has changed, would you care to be baptized, Brother Goldstein? I went, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. And I think I picked him up off the floor. I'm not sure. They were startled. Really? That'll be fine? They caught me. They got me.
Yeah. I'm thinking my mind's going back to what you were saying you were taught about, you know, this conversion. You had to have been like, how did they get me? I knew about this. They told me about this when I was a kid, right? But he got me. The Spirit gets a hold of us, man. That is just what a fascinating and cool story.
So the baptism's scheduled some months later. So it goes on, and then it was on June 2nd, 1985. My birthday's on June 1st. Why didn't I have it on June 1st? I thought I should. Because my father had passed away a year earlier on my birthday, which is not a real fun thing to think about, and it wasn't then. But so anyway, baptism happened. They scheduled it at the Stake Center. They asked me how many friends I had in town here, and it was a lot because I played all over. Just 200 people came to the stake center to my baptism. 200. One of the guys asked, feared of thinking that I'd done something really crazy and wouldn't like me anymore or just judge me, or came up to me, a Baptist friend. He's walking up toward the stand after the confirmation. He looks at me. He says, Marvin, arm around me, we are so thankful you embraced Jesus Christ. Now, that's a Baptist in our church telling that Jesus Christ has just embraced me there. That says a lot about what they're thinking maybe in that time instead of judging the whole religion. So that happened. So now it's, I was Jewish for as long as I'm now in the church. So it's like a 50-50. I was Jewish for 35 years only. Now I'm Jewish and LDS. So it's 75 years in there going. But people say, well, you're not Jewish. I said, you're wrong. You are totally wrong. I don't care who I'm talking to, leaders of the church. I am still Jewish. And I am a believer in Jesus Christ.
A priesthood man even, right?
Yeah. And so I say, well, I really don't understand that we don't teach more about Jewish things, holidays and things, because we are inextricably a part of the Jewish religion.
Sure.
The Jewish religion is the base of why we have one. I mean, it's not our religion's not new. It's from something, and what it's from.
The only reason we even know about Jesus Christ is because of the testimony of the prophets in the Old Testament, right? I mean, that's where it all started, and it's the foundation, that Abrahamic covenant. I mean, come on, for sure.
So I've had a lot of cool things happen to me since joining the church, and big connections I've made. Visit with several apostles very regularly.
Well, there's actually a story out that says that the prophet, President Gordon B. Hinckley, stopped and came to seek you out and shake your hand. Is that true? Did that happen? That he came to you and asked you, can I shake your hand? The prophet? That's what I heard. That's a rumor in the streets.
No, it's true. It's true.
Wow.
I was played and played and played. I was invited I was played, and I came from space. I wasn't in Utah, and I'm out in Florida. Oh, who's he? Is he breaking into our thing? What's going on here? I was invited to play for Ezra Taft Benson's wife, Sister Hinckley, different apostles, and presidents of the church's wives. So I knew Marjorie Hinckley. So at the Orlando Temple opening, which I was invited to open it with Elder Ballard, he and I opened the temple session. Brother Hunter was the prophet then when that temple opened, but he got ill while he was here and he had to leave and go back home. So President Hinckley stood in for him. So I saw Sister Hinckley in the foyer. Oh, Brother Goldstein, how are you? Hey, Sister Hinckley, nice to meet you. See, this hand comes in between us and goes, hi, I'd like to meet you too, President Hinckley.
Wow.
So that's true.
So having these firsthand personal experiences with these men, these apostles, right, of the Lord Jesus Christ, who, millions of people around the world can only imagine having these interactions. And so my question is, are these men what they claim to be? Are they prophets of God?
Those men, in my opinion, don't feel any different than you and I sitting here right now. They are no different than you and I. They know a lot. Of course, they know a lot. They're dedicated a lot. They're beautiful men, very learned men, but they are still no closer to God than you or I. They're not closer. Right. They're not. That's my opinion. So they have a calling. They have things they're supposed to be doing, like we all have, and given a lot of responsibility. But they're no different. They're just one-on-one. Like I went to Marvin J. Ashton that set me apart, one of the apostles. I went to lunch with him at the office building in Salt Lake with my family. We went in the cafeteria, Elder Ashton was a very tall man, and we're all getting our food, and he's standing on the in front of the line of the cash register, and he had his wallet out, and so he said, "Get over here, whatever you want." So family's getting food, and I bring out my credit card. He said, "No, it's on me." I said, "So my personality would be, okay, you're gonna pay for this? You don't have to do that. Just okay." Then the lady at the register, do you have gift certificates? He went,
Oh my goodness.
"We have gift certificates. You're asking for a gift." Anyway, this was really hilarious. He knew I was kidding.
Of course.
And then so he paid. So we're all sitting and going, and there's 6 apostles having lunch. So Elder Packer comes near the table, and he looks over and he says, "Hey, Marv." No, Marvin and Marvin had the same name. I looked up, yes.
Uh-huh.
And he was talking to Marvin J. Ashton, not
Ashton.
me.
Yes.
So he said, hey, then Marv Ashton said, "Hey, boy, do you want to sit with us?" And he said, I not really. I have a better offer over at that other table. Thanks.
Wow.
So these guys are funny.
Yes.
These guys are, I've got dozens and dozens of things that happen that are miraculous with meeting with these people, and things then thereafter that they had me learn, see, do, that took place, right? I mean, just given knowledge, things happen. That anyway, so can I tell you one other thing?
Of course.
So several meetings with President Ballard, several meetings with President Packer, several meetings with President Holland, several of them. Elder Packer had me come in, and he said, "Hey, how you doing today, Maestro?" He said, "Mr. Architect," he called me. He goes like this every time he saw me, "Architect." I said, "Okay, how you doing?" "Just fine." "How are you?" "Fine." And then he called his secretary, and he said, "Llewellyn, come on in here and bring the hymn book, please." "Okay." Brother Packer owns a hymn book. I looked at it. He says, "Brother Goldstein, see this number 114 called 'Come Unto Him'? Can you look at that? Do you look at that and you can hear it in your mind? Can you play it?" Just looking at it. He went, yes, I can. He said, "What's the tempo? What should the tempo be?" I said, "Well, it's slow, thoughtful, reverent, whatever." Then he says, "Well, why does the Tabernacle Choir do it wrong?" Because you haven't told them otherwise, President Packer?
Right.
I said, "So how slow should it be?" He said, "Read the words." I said, "It's extremely slow. Almost where you think it's just hardly moving." I said, "Well, I'll have it ready for you in a few weeks. I'm going to record it for you." So I went and did it, gave it back to him. He said, "Perfect. Now share that with the Tabernacle Choir." Okay. Because he was the pulse of music for decades and decades and decades. When I don't know if you know that, but
No,
that
I did
was
not know
his.
that. I don't think that's
his
common.
area was art and music.
Interesting. President Packer.
Each one of them have areas of their thing.
Passions, maybe.
Yeah. And Elder Packer was an amazing artist. He drew birds. He drew landscape. When Elder Bednar got called to be an apostle, he and I were friends from Rexburg College, which he was the president. I sent him a text. The minute I heard it, I said, it struck me really strange. And I said, "Congratulations." And he wrote back and says, "Give me some time. I don't know what I'm doing." He says, "It's just too much." It's like, boom. And he's most likely going to be president of our church at some point in the future.
Elder Bednar, that's the rumor.
Because he's young, and he'll be there for as long as anybody's ever been there, probably. But,
yes.
And he's a good man. He's thoughtful, but he's no nonsense man. And President Holland, I know so many of them so well. And it's just, I knew when they were stake presidents, some of them. I knew when they were area authorities.
You've been there since the 1980s, I think.
Early 80s.
Said. Yeah. Man, those men. What about Elder McConkie? Any ever interactions? Did you get a chance to meet him, or was that maybe two before?
Now, I can't believe you said that. Elder McConkie.
He's one of my all-time favorites.
I was called once in the 80s to bishopric. The bishop was a German bishop who called first counselor Jewish counselor. So German, Jewish, which you can see
the problem there, yeah.
An area
sure.
of concern, perhaps, but not between us. And who was the first counselor? McConkie.
Which one?
It's Bruce R.'s nephew.
Okay, wow.
Bruce R.'s nephew was, I can't remember his name, it's been so long ago. But yeah, McConkie.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we had a German bishop, a Jewish first counselor, and a McConkie. So the three of us were like oil, water, vinegar, and who knows, just get all these things that don't mix to. And we're all going, no, I don't think so. If you look at it, no, really? Okay, so we're going to agree on anything? No. Okay, so what do you want to do? McConkie was, he would tell us about his family and stuff, and he was just Mr. Straight.
Yeah.
And then in the meetings and stuff between the bishop and I, who's still alive, he's like 95 right now.
And so the gospel broke down all those barriers, all those imaginary lines that we've drawn, right, in the world. Jewish, German, and then a McConkie.
And then one day I got called to the High Council. President Randy Harris was the Tallahassee State President. And that's right in the height of which I'm getting called to do firesides. All over, everywhere. And I went into that High Council room and said, these responsibilities have me doing things on Sunday, right? And I've got, you won't believe the calls he said, you're released now. Very few do what you do, and many more can do what's required in this High Council position. So I was released quickly. Then Elder Ashton died, and he and I had done so many things.
Do you want to talk about the mission call from Elder Ashton?
Oh, okay, sure. You got time for that?
I think that's worth mentioning. That really struck me.
So it was 1989. Elder Jeffrey R. Holland was an area authority, not an apostle. He came to give a talk, Tallahassee Stake. I was asked to play piano. So I'm playing in the meeting. After the meeting's over, I must have impressed Elder Holland because he came up and said, hey, we're having a meeting in Jacksonville. Would you come? It's a family home evening kind of thing, dinner, and then for mission presidents being instructed and this and that in Jacksonville Hotel, Omni Hotel. Would you by chance be able to come tomorrow night? Tomorrow night? I guess so. Yeah, I mean, okay. Because he's asking me and I'm busy. And so I go over. Family home evening, a couple hundred people there, men and their wives, all mission presidents from the southeast area of the United States down into Central America and even below. And they're all there to get instructions from somebody. So had dinner, nice dinner. Then it's family home evening time. Some of the sisters in the meeting had been asked to maybe contribute to a musical number. And so I remember accompanying one of the sisters' mission president's wives on a flute or something. She's played. Okay, now it's my turn. So I'm playing. I thought I'd play about 25 or 30 minutes, which is a lot of music. They're all done with dinner and dessert, all listening. They're not being rude like most people like to be.
Yeah.
And, there should become background music instead of something important. Anyway, so I'm playing about 8 or maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes into me playing. Real tall man over the set goes, which is then I find out is Marvin J. Ashton, the apostle. He looks over, he stops me. He says, Brother Goldstein. And I said, look over. Everybody's looking over. The Lord has asked me to set you apart in a blessing now. Really? What? Okay.
Right.
Pulls up a chair, said, and somebody had written it down. I have it written down somewhere. More exactly what he said. It was, as you share the gift of music, Wherever you may go, you will be blessed in all things, at all times, and in all ways. And I seal this, there was no other thing said, in the holy apostleship of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. So I think I joked even then afterwards. I said, does that mean I'm a mission president in Siberia? What's happening here?
Well, I think about that moment, Marvin, when you were 18 and you were watching Bernstein on the Mount of Olives, right? It seems like you kind of came full circle, and in that moment you received that official call that at 18, that might have been what you saw in that vision, right?
Well, it was not defined as that, but it was as important as that, but not defined.
Sure.
Well, neither was the blessing with Elder Ashton that day it wasn't defined. So then I felt it was appropriate that I could meet with him anytime I wanted. He's my close friend now.
Yes.
So I called him
it's
up.
like you and me, Marvin.
Right.
Could come over, drop by on Sunday.
That's right. Wreck my house. It's great. Yeah, it's not a problem. You get an invoice later. Anyway, Elder Ashton became a friend. So I got to go to Salt Lake. I basically called him, hey, I'm coming to see you. Oh, okay. Knock on the door. Are you home? And then security. Oh, yeah, he's invited me. Okay, sure. It's up on the floor, third floor room, or whatever. Walk in. Oh, Brother Goldstein. How you doing? Hey, look, everything okay? He said, I need you to come with me. Is it okay? You got a few minutes? Okay, good. And we're leaving from the administration building. You know where that is? In Salt Lake?
Temple Square.
Temple Square, administration building, like
Sure.
a square building there. And then the big old church.
Shout out Sister Tyson, Temple Square right now serving.
Right.
Thank you, Sister Tyson.
Absolutely. So he says, come with me, come with me. So I'm following him. Get over to the main church building. He said, we're going up to the 20th floor. Okay. Says, we're going to go talk to the church music committee chairman. Okay. So everybody that saw him went like, huh? Is Elder Ashton's wife? He's a celebrity, right? And so we get up to the floor. We go up into the church music committee chairman's office, and he's named Michael Moody. I had never met him. Elder Ashton knew him. He said, what can I do for you, Elder? I said, well, here's this name, Marvin Goldstein. You don't know him, but you are going to help him. Whatever he needs, I need you to do. And I'm like feeling awkward. What? I'm a music committee chairman of the whole church, and he's telling whatever I need.
And he's going to do every word that man tells him to do, right? Like we know. So, yeah.
More than every word.
Yeah,
he's going to ask,
go
is there any
Twain.
other words? Yeah, Twain all the way. Twain steroids. So anyway, he goes, and so the last thing I'll tell you about Elder Ashton that happened was funny. So I felt close to the man, quite close, because it would happen that he was inspired to inspire me, to make a closure on something that's a lifetime commitment, beyond lifetime commitment, to use what we were given before, what you worked on, thank the Lord, and that we were able to do with it that brings people closer to the Lord, that then just moves on and on and on. So I'm in California somewhere, giving a fireside. Somebody goes to me and says, hey, do you know that Elder Ashton's over at the this other ward across, just over that other county? I said, oh, okay, well, thank you. So I make my way over there. I knew I could drive and maybe go see if I could just say hi to him. And so we get there, and I asked Elder Ashton here. They're like 600 people, all men. And he's in the council room. He can't be bothered. Okay, thank you. So I go outside, go up to the other door, and
Oh my goodness.
and some people are going, excuse me. Who are you? So I look, I see Elder Ashton at the table. He looks back at me and goes, so he comes out about 5 minutes later. Hey, Brother Goldstein, what brings you here? I said, I just want to tell you I love you, that thank you for what you do. I'm on my way to, and he said, I appreciate that. He said, but would you mind opening this meeting for me? I said, I have to be in 3 hours at, he said, no, just be quick. We're going to do it now. Okay. I'll open your meeting. And so he has me go in. And he introduces me to all the 600 men sitting there. Hey, this is my best friend, Brother Goldstein. And he's going to play the piano for you now. And then I told him he could leave because he has an assignment that he has to go do and he can't stay. Okay, I got to back up one quick thing. And this will tie it all together.
Sure.
When I first met Elder Ashton in his office, a year or so before that, I had asked him, hey, Elder, I'm giving a fireside in West Jordan tonight. You and your wife can come? He said, the church keeps us busy, Brother Goldstein. I have every 10 minutes I got to do something or be somewhere. It's just like too much.
I could hear him. I could see him at his conferences.
It's just, he says, but where's the address? Okay, I wrote it down. Well, thanks. Okay, see you later, maybe. Who knows? So at the fireside, it's about 7 o'clock it starts, about 7:10. I look at the door, and here comes Elder Ashton and his wife, a busy man. And I go on the microphone. Brothers and sisters, I'd like to welcome my good friend Elder Marvin J. Ashton and his wife. And they all went, like, what? So he sat down and did the fireside. And then I said to him this. I said, I don't know protocol, Elder. I only been in the church a few years. And Elder Ashton, would you mind coming up and bearing your testimony?
Wow.
I asked him to come up.
You asked an apostle to come bear his testimony.
I did. He comes up. He says exactly these words. Brother Goldstein, I liked you till now.
Well, you're not going to like me very much in a moment. Because I'm going to ask you that same question, but continue.
So he said that, and then, okay, now back to the thing when I met him, and he wants me to open that meeting then, right? So he says, just, you can leave. It was fine. So I played. He said, thank you, Brother Goldstein. I'm headed down the aisle.
Just
he goes, wait a minute. Would you mind coming up and bearing your testimony, Brother Goldstein? I smiled at him. Said, okay. So I did, and then I left. So this is the relationship we have with these guys.
For anybody who's watching who may not be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who may identify as some other race, religion, or whatever the case may be, did you feel loved by these men? Did these men accept you? Did you feel that? What did you feel from them? Like, did they treat you like an outsider?
I felt like best friend the whole time, any of them. Just not any kind of caste system kind of thing that you're there and I'm there. And no, it's just like asking me just like they would ask anybody for advice or if something possibly that I know more than they do or they know whatever. It's just exchange.
Uh-huh.
It was wonderful. I mean, Rich, it was
friends.
So much fun.
You would call them friends,
I know
right?
so much fun to take friends of mine up there to say, hey, you want to introduce you to this? Really? Sure. Why not?
Yeah, that's really, really cool. What have you come to know about the role that Jesus Christ took on?
Who could know that? I mean, like, he was chosen to suffer. Yeah, through all these men, through all their teachings, and they just blow past the smoke. They think of what's really important instead of what we dwell on as mere mortals, right? Even just one of those times I felt that I could help one of them was when President Ballard's grandson was killed in a plane crash. And I made a trip out there especially to see him, to ask him how he was doing with that. He went, Brother Goldstein, we just have to pick up the wagon and go west. You can't dwell on it. He was having a rough time, just like any of us would. Even knowing about eternity, still, you want to make sure we're getting it right. There's no surest vision any kind I'll ever have. I got a vision of just, if you do the right things, you're able to have more right things happen to you. and help other people. Do as much as you can. You can't help everybody. I like what I do. I like what I'm doing. I can't understand if anybody ever says they don't like me, there's something wrong with them, right? But it's a great trip through the church. A lot of Jewish friends don't know what I did until they are humble enough to ask. Then they'll be told. It took one of my uncles 20 years to even look at me. He was so thinking I was the traitor of the century. Turned my back on all my Jewish everything. That hurt. That was not fun. But he finally did. Finally came around and goes like, it took that long to know that there was no intent to hurt anybody. It was to understand perhaps what we're all going to be faced with, which is a choice and a place that we're going to end up.
Amen. We were just taught that by the prophet. You know, what's important is three things that we should be concerned with is the type of body that we're going to spend eternity in, where we're going to spend that eternity, and who we're going to spend that eternity with. Just wonderful. Well, you know, we don't want to infringe too much more on your time. I couldn't be more excited. I think that was probably showing on my face throughout this entire interview, and so we're so grateful for you taking the time and being willing to invest, you know, more of your time into the gathering of Israel. President Nelson said that this is the most important thing taking place on planet Earth, and to find other men, other priesthood men like you, Marvin, who believe the prophet and follow the prophet and invest time and make sacrifices to participate in the greatest thing that's ever taken place on earth motivates me to continue to do the same. So thank you for carrying that torch and for passing that torch on to us today.
Pleasure.
Remember, guys, whosoever shall compel you to go with him a mile, go with him twain, the Savior taught. And Marvin Goldstein is a great example of that principle of going the second mile.